So this is actually old news, like 2 years old. But if you notice, right at the beginning of the new year, uh, they Stellar Blade, Nike, I guess Shift Up World, they do all of this. Shared this video. Play it for you. This is really cool to see how they kind of like scan bodies into the game and then use them. So this is an actual model named Shin. They mentioned her, yeah, Shin Jaun. I believe that's how you pronounce it, and that's how they got her uh, into the game, the Stellar Blade. And then, of course, this brought up the. I'm just checking my podcast stuff. This brought up the comparison. Well, I want to bring up. This is obviously the model. This is how she looks in game. Very nice. It's very distinct. This you can tell this is Korean because it just seems to have that look of the of the of a Korean game. I don't know, just something about it. I've heard some people kind of describe it as doll-like, which I think is probably pretty accurate. Of course, people had to bring up the comparison between exactly everything is better than the politics drift. Yep, no politics. Well, I don't want to say no politics, but I suppose there's some connection. It's mostly about video games. That's what I talk about. And then, of course, this concerns me because when I'm playing video games, I want to be in a fantasy world. I want to enjoy it fully. One of the thing is beautiful women. Very important with fantasy. All right. So someone shared this after of course he was sharing, pictures very nice of the model itself. And then this video is so sad. It is so sad. I have to share it. This is 2 years old, by the way. It's worth mentioning, which I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they said that. And then like, find it 2 years old. It's like, it's old news, but still, it's kind of. Let me show it, and then I'll explain.
I know you were talking about the character from a bygone era. I do think the character model was actually like very distracting in not a good way, because like with the camera
not a
angles
good way.
it just felt like this game seems like a game that came out in like 002 in terms of its like character design. It's like a bit old and not flattering, I don't think, for a modern audience in comparison to something like
modern audiences hate it,
which has
the one with the black lady, by the way, that's Forspoken.
Character designs. It's not these hyper proportioned something or another's, but it also seemed,
I think they added that in
a bit more
for the video.
grounded in a way that I found much more appealing than what we saw here.
From a general standpoint, I do agree with you, but I do think Project Eve, when it comes to facial construction, it does have some merit though, because the characters.
The pictures are not in the original video.
It's just that once you go, neck down, there's a lot of issues.
Neck down, there's a lot of issues. Oh my god.
Oh dear. Okay, well look.
This is talking about like this in a panel of four guys. Four guys talking about this and like doing their absolute best. Not to mention that she looks attractive. That's I don't know why this guy stuck this all this stuff in there, but man, how sad. How effing sad is this? To have to just beat around the bush to say like, yeah, it's from '02, it's not how things should be today, and it's not flattering for a modern audience. Oh my god. Like I said, a group of guys, like four guys, are talking like this. Like, I can't fathom it. And this is the problem with gaming today. You could blame women all you want, but in the end, it's guys like this that keep it down, that just can't ignore it, that keep pushing for sort of like hop on the train to get to female acknowledgement, and gonna keep guys in prison. But I prepared some comparisons. This is looked online. These are some examples of the correct. This is the modern woman in a video game. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think the T levels are healthy. But, you know, kind of looked, I just like Google searched Western women in video games, and there's so many images. People have been very upset about this stuff. Of course, you know, all of them look ugly, disproportioned, like none of them look attractive. And this, of course, was, I think this is Fabled, with the model of the woman it was based off of, with that. And I apologize for the pixelation, I had to upscale it. This is Horizon Zero Dawn, the actual model versus what's in game. Not too bad, but you can kind of tell that they kind of made her fatter. Like, she's not as attractive as, so rather than like changing her to make her more beautiful in game, like kind of like making it even more of a fantasy type of setting, they have to like tone it down. This is the most bizarre part about it, is like, why make it worse than the original? Of course, this is the model versus Stellar Blade, and this is famously happened Spider-Man 2, the model for MJ versus her model in game, which clear downgrade. And this is Abby from Last of Us 2. Looks like a man. Like, you could tell this was a woman, maybe a little on the butch side, but yeah, just looks completely like a man in the actual game. Really sad, but this is the modern woman in Western video games. Apparently, to be powerful, you have to become a man. That is the lesson to take from it. But I mean, Stellar Blade, looking at the actual gameplay, kind of seems like whatever, but it is interesting to see. Is interesting to look at. I like kind of like some of the Koreans, sort of take on graphics, and some of their gameplay is like, but we'll see. I think it looks. Let me see if I can bring up gameplay of Stellar Blade. It kind of looks like Devil May Cry-ish. I haven't really played a lot of like the 3D style games. Let's see if we can find a gameplay trailer. That's a little loud. Turn this down. There's this old dude. Obviously, a smaller girl. They still have that very Korean style design. Big head, big eyes. Very anime. They're in a deep sleep, dude. This is all. There's some actual gameplay. It looks really counter heavy, like some 3D stuff. At the very least, they actually try, like, with the graphics to make the game look beautiful, which is admirable versus some of the other studios we see nowadays. So visually, it is quite impressive. There's some like really weird style designs that you kind of see in some of the anime. It's an interesting looking game for sure. So I'm looking. I don't have a PS4 or 5, so I won't be playing it. But it's definitely not something I'm going to get a PS5 for. See, it reminds me a lot of the advertisement of big companies today. According to them, Alphabet people are more than 50%. Well, exactly, and I think that's the issue. Is one of the real issues that's happening in the games is that the people making the games, especially in like the Western world, all kind of have the similar worldview. They all want to have this sort of stuff. They're celebrated for making character models, taking beautiful women and making them look uglier. Like this is considered good, progressive. This is art that moves the world forward to them, which in reality it does the complete opposite.